All right, so everyone ready to jump in and explore the life and times of one of the titans of hip-hop.
Oh, yeah, JayZ, right.
Exactly. JayZ, the man himself.
I'm ready.
From Marcy houses to, well, billionaire status, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's story is incredible. And we've got his Wikipedia article in front of us.
Okay, let's dive in.
Let's do it. And, we're going to try to uncover some things that maybe even some of the, hardcore fans might not know about.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's start at the beginning, though. Marcy houses, I think most people kind of know the basic story of his upbringing, but talk to us a little bit about how that environment really shaped him, both as a person and as a musician.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to separate JayZ from Marcy houses.
Right.
That environment, the poverty, the crime that he saw, all of that is woven into his lyrics.
Yeah.
It's really what gives his music that rawness, that realness.
The authenticity, yeah, for sure.
And also you can hear it in his flow, like this hunger to rise above his circumstances, right?
And he doesn't shy away from it either. He talks about, being involved in the drug game and things like that. He owns it.
Absolutely, yeah. He's very open about his past. And I think that vulnerability, that honesty, it really connects with his listeners.
For sure.
It makes him relatable, even though, he's achieved incredible success.
Yeah.
And it's not just the struggles either. There's real intelligence in his lyrics. You can tell he was always thinking, always strategizing. He was looking for a way out.
So you've got that raw talent. You've got this environment that fuels his music.
Yeah.
But we know that talent alone doesn't make a superstar.
Exactly.
So how does he go from those street corners to becoming a rap icon?
Well, this is where the hustle comes in. He was out there battling other rappers, constantly honing his skills, building a name for himself.
Yeah, working with Jazzo early on, that was a big step.
Yeah, and then boom, he forms Rockefeller Records with Damon Dash and Kareem Burke.
That was a power move, right? It wasn't just about making music anymore.
Right. It was about owning his masters, controlling his destiny, building an empire.
Yeah, Rockefeller was a statement. It was like they were saying, we're not waiting for anyone's permission. We're going to do this our way.
Exactly. And it all led to 1996 and the release of Reasonable Doubt, his debut album.
Now, Reasonable Doubt is widely considered a classic, and for good reason. It's not your typical flashy, braggadocious debut album. It's introspective. It's got those complex rhyme schemes. You can almost hear the struggle in his voice.
Yeah.
It's almost like a blueprint for success laid out in rhymes. You know what I mean?
It really is. It's fascinating how he blends this street hustler mentality with a philosophical, almost poetic approach to lyricism. He's talking about real life experiences, but there's this depth there, this introspection that sets him apart.
Yeah, and that's, I think, what really hooked me from the beginning, right? It felt like he was inviting you into his world, his thought process. And musically, it was groundbreaking. I mean, you had DJ Premier on production, a young Clark Kent. Like, this album is a masterpiece.
It's undeniable. It really solidified his place in the game and set the stage for everything that came after.
Right. But like you said, this is just the beginning.
It is. He doesn't stay in one lane for long.
He's constantly evolving. He's always trying new things. He's pushing the boundaries of what a rapper can be.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, look at the progression from that introspective Reasonable Doubt to Volume 2. Hard Knock Life. He goes from this underground hero to mainstream success, all while keeping his edge.
And Hard Knock Life, man, that album was massive, right? That Annie sample, I mean, everybody was singing that. It was everywhere. It was on the radio. It was, in movies. It was,
But it was unavoidable.
It was unavoidable. But it showed that he had this ability to adapt, right? To create music that was both commercially successful and still lyrically potent. It wasn't just watered down pop stuff.
Yeah, and he was collaborating with different producers, experimenting with new sounds. You had Timbaland, Swizz Beatz, even a young Kanye West starting to make his mark on those later albums.
And speaking of Kanye, I mean, that partnership, that's a whole other story.
Oh, absolutely.
And we'll get to that. But first, we have to talk about this legendary feud with Nas.
Ether versus Takeover. Come on, man. This was a rap battle for the ages.
Two titans of hip-hop going head-to-head, pushing each other to create some of their most ferocious work.
Yeah, the whole hip-hop world was glued to that back and forth.
It was like watching a heavyweight championship fight. Yeah. But with words as weapons,
And it had a huge impact on the culture. It wasn't just about the lyrical warfare. It was about what it represented, like a clash of styles, a battle for the soul of New York hip-hop.
And then, ultimately, they reconciled.
They did, yeah.
And that showed a level of maturity and respect that we don't always see in these types of rivalries.
Yeah, that I Declare War concert where they performed together.
Man, that was a moment.
It was a powerful moment, man. It really showed that even the biggest rivals can find common ground.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it made their music even richer. You know, that tension, that competitive fire, it fueled both of their careers.
Absolutely.
But through it all, JayZ, he never lost sight of the bigger picture, right? He was building something much bigger than just a rap career. He was laying the groundwork for an empire.
Oh, yeah. He was always playing chess, not checkers, man.
He was thinking ahead, you know? And that's what we're going to get into next. We're going to go from the recording studio to the boardroom.
Let's do it.
As we explore the rise of JayZ, the businessman. Stay with us, folks.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting.
This is where it gets really interesting. Buckle up.
So we left off with JayZ building an empire.
Yeah, an empire.
But we're talking about more than just music now, right? We're talking about business.
Business savvy, yeah.
You don't go from, selling CDs out of the trunk of your car to becoming a billionaire without some serious business skills.
Exactly, and that's what I'm here for.
So where do we start?
I mean, I think most people are familiar with Rocawear, the clothing line he co-founded back in the late 90s.
Late 90s, yeah.
But that was just the beginning, right?
Oh, yeah. Rocawear was huge, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was a cultural phenomenon. It was more than just clothing. It was a lifestyle.
Yeah, it was aspirational.
It was a symbol of hustle, of success, and let me tell you, it made bank.
Yeah.
That's what really cemented JayZ as a true entrepreneur.
It's interesting, though, because he wasn't content with just fashion.
No.
He had his sights set on bigger things.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what's so fascinating about this guy, He's not afraid to step outside his comfort zone, take risks, explore new avenues.
Absolutely. He's got that restless ambition, that drive to constantly expand his horizons.
So then he launches the 40/40 Club, right?
The 40-foot.
This upscale sports bar chain.
Yep. Further diversifying that portfolio.
Do you remember when those opened? It was like every celebrity in the world was hanging out at the 40/40 Club.
It was the place to be seen.
Yeah, he was tapping into a whole new market.
He was, yeah.
Blending his love of sports with this, luxury VIP experience.
Exactly. It was brilliant, and, it paid off big time.
It did. It did.
But I think what's even more impressive is his move into tech.
Yeah, you're talking about Tidal, right?
Tidal.
The music streaming service. I remember when he bought that company. I think a lot of people were scratching their heads.
Yeah.
They were like, what is he doing? What's the play here?
It was a bold move, no question.
It was.
He was basically challenging Spotify, Apple Music, like the giants in the industry.
Taking them head on.
Head on. But he had a vision, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to create a platform that really empowered artists. Gave them more control over their music, a bigger share of the profits.
So it was more than just about the money for him.
It was.
It's about disrupting the industry, right?
It was about changing the game for artists.
Now, I think it's fair to say that Tidal, maybe didn't achieve all of its goals.
I mean, it definitely faced some challenges.
It did. It did. It's still around.
It's still around.
But it's not, the Spotify killer that some people predicted.
Right.
But I think it did show his willingness to think outside the box, to invest in the future of music.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget his investments in, Uber and other tech companies.
Oh, yeah. He's got a knack for spotting potential.
He does.
He's always one step ahead, He's anticipating the next big thing.
Okay, so we've got fashion, we've got nightlife, we've got tech. We can't talk about JayZ's business ventures without mentioning champagne.
Oh, yes. Armand de Brignac, the ace of spades.
Yeah, I mean, that's become synonymous with, luxury and celebration.
Especially in the hip-hop world.
Especially in the hip-hop world.
And how did that all come about?
Yeah, how did that happen?
So early on, he became the co-brand director for Budweiser Select.
Okay.
But that was just, a taste of things to come.
A little foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he acquires Armand de Brignac.
Not just, a celebrity endorsement. He buys the whole company.
He buys the whole company.
That's wild.
It is.
I mean, he took this relatively unknown brand
right.
and turned it into, a global icon.
Absolutely. It's like the champagne of choice now for, athletes, rappers, anyone looking to celebrate in style.
Yeah, he understands luxury. He understands branding.
He does.
And he knows how to position a product to appeal to a specific audience.
And he does it again and again and again.
And again.
With USA Cognac, for example.
Oh, right. USA Cognac.
Yeah.
Partnering with Bacardi.
Yep. Another successful high-end spirit.
Okay, so fashion, nightlife, tech, champagne, cognac. Is there anything this guy hasn't touched?
Well, he was a part owner of the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, yeah?
He was instrumental in bringing the team to Brooklyn, helped elevate their brand,
Right.
and then he launches his own sports agency, Roc Nation Sports, representing athletes in all sorts of sports.
It's like he conquered every industry he set his sights on.
He really had.
And he does it all while maintaining this, cool confidence.
The epitome of success?
Yeah, the epitome of success.
He's become a symbol of the American dream, the kid from the projects who made it big through sheer talent and hustle.
But it's not just about the money, right?
No.
I mean, he also uses his platform to give back, advocate for social justice.
Of course, the Sean Carter Foundation, for example.
Right, which he founded to help underprivileged students access higher education.
Exactly, and he's been vocal about criminal justice reform, other social issues that are close to his heart.
So it's not just about, the material success. It's about using that success to make a difference.
It's about giving back to the community.
That's what makes his story so compelling. He's not just this successful businessman.
Yeah.
He's a philanthropist, an activist, a cultural icon.
And speaking of cultural icons, we can't forget about his personal life, specifically his marriage to Beyoncé.
Oh, the power couple.
Arguably the biggest power couple in the world.
It's been amazing to watch their relationship unfold,
It has.
Navigating the challenges of fame and fortune, raising a family. Yep. And they're still both dominating their respective fields.
They are.
It's a testament to their love, their mutual respect, their shared ambition.
It is. It's really a beautiful thing to witness.
They've built this incredible empire together.
They have.
Not just in terms of wealth, but also cultural influence, right?
Trendsetters, tastemakers.
Trendsetters.
Amplifying important voices and causes.
Exactly, yeah.
Speaking of influence, did you know this about JayZ?
What's that?
Remember that stabbing incident from back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
The one he was accused of?
That was huge, yeah.
Yeah, you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
The alleged victim later recanted his statement.
No way. Right.
Yeah. He claimed JayZ wasn't actually the one who stabbed him.
Wow. I did not know that.
It changes the whole story, right?
That really does, yeah.
It just shows that there's always more to the story.
Always more.
Especially with someone as complex as JayZ.
It's like his life is more interesting than fiction.
It really is.
So where does that leave us? What's the takeaway from all of this?
I think JayZ's journey is a testament to the power of ambition, of resilience, of reinvention. I mean, he started with nothing.
Yeah.
Faced so much adversity.
He did.
But he rose to the top of multiple industries.
It's an inspiring story for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's also a lot more than just the typical rags to riches tale.
Yeah, it's about strategic thinking. It's about evolving, adapting to new challenges, and using your strengths to create opportunities.
Yeah.
Not just for yourself, but for other people, too.
And that's what's so admirable about him, right?
Yeah.
He could have just focused on his music career.
Easily.
Become a legend that way.
Absolutely.
But he didn't stop there.
Nope.
He used his success as a springboard.
Yeah.
To build something bigger.
To leave a lasting impact.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a true innovator.
Yeah.
He's a disruptor.
Yeah.
Changed the game in music, business.
Even philanthropy.
And he did it all while staying true to his roots.
Yeah, that's key, right?
Yeah.
He could easily become detached.
Easily.
From his community, from where he came from.
Right.
But he remained grounded.
He did.
Used his platform to lift other people up.
Absolutely. I mean, the Sean Carter Foundation is the perfect example.
Right, yeah.
Using his wealth, his influence, to help those who are less fortunate.
So it all comes back to, that core idea of hustle and ambition.
Yeah.
But not just for personal gain, right?
Yeah.
It's about using your success to empower others.
Absolutely, to create positive change in the world.
So what does all this mean for our listeners out there?
What can they take away from JayZ's incredible journey?
Yeah.
I think it's a reminder that anything is possible if you work hard.
Mm-hmm.
You have the determination, and the willingness to step outside your comfort zone.
Push yourself.
Embrace challenges as opportunities to grow.
Yeah.
Use your success to help others.
He's really set the bar, hasn't he?
He really has.
For what it means to be successful in the 21st century.
In any field.
Yeah.
He's not just a rapper, not just a businessman.
He's a cultural icon, a force.
Shaped the landscape of hip-hop and far beyond.
And his story is still being written.
Oh, yeah.
But one thing's clear.
What's that?
JayZ's impact is going to be felt for generations.
I believe that.
He's inspired countless people.
Absolutely.
Artists, entrepreneurs, to dream bigger,
to hustle harder,
use their success to make a difference.
For sure.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of JayZ, we want to leave you with one final thought.
Right.
Something to ponder.
Okay.
Just imagine for a second. that JayZ had never ventured beyond music?
Interesting.
What if he'd stayed solely focused on rapping?
Would he have still achieved the same level of success?
Yeah. Would he be the icon he is today?
It's impossible to say for sure, but
Yeah.
it's definitely something to think about.
He was still been a legend, obviously.
Oh,
In
yeah,
the world of hip-hop, for sure.
for sure.
But would his impact have gone beyond music?
That's the question.
Would he have had the same opportunities?
Right, to build businesses.
Yeah, diversify.
Invest,
Yeah.
exactly.
Maybe, maybe not. But
What's fascinating is that he didn't limit himself. He didn't stay in one lane.
Nope.
He saw the potential for growth beyond music.
And he went for it.
And he seized it.
He did.
And that's the takeaway here.
What is it?
Recognizing that your potential goes beyond any one path, any one industry, any one passion. Right? It's about embracing that power of reinvention, always looking for new challenges,
Always learning.
growing, expanding your horizons.
It's about pushing yourself.
JayZ's story proves that you don't have to be confined by your past
Yeah.
or your background or even your current success.
Keep striving for more.
You can always evolve. You can always push further.
Make a bigger impact on the world?
So go out there.
Go for it.
Embrace your ambition. Never stop hustling towards your goals.
Whatever those goals may be. And remember, like JayZ, always be willing to diversify, to learn, and to use your success to make a better future for yourself and for the world around you. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of JayZ. Until next time.